Hello everybody. So today we're going to talk about, we've just finished our song. I thought this would be a perfect time for the end of, for this in the series. Finished our song. We're now looking to release the song. So I want to give some tips on releasing. I'm going to do it's going to be like a whole bunch of things. Now, I'm not like some kind of famous musician, but I just want to point this out because a lot of people are like, oh, well, what do you know? So these three bands here are mine. These are the ones that I've worked with, that I'm a part of, and so I just wanted to show this is on Spotify here. So so for my dear friend gets about 1,000 monthly listeners. That's not bad for a band that does not. We're not promoted on any playlist. I'm not paying extra to get these numbers. But I'm going to show you how to get these numbers. Next is the MPF Project, 140 monthly listeners. It's not bad, And then my own solo stuff, 242 monthly listeners. So I just wanted to throw that out there because, like I said, I'm not like some kind of, superstar. I know that. But I am getting listens, which means that I am making some money. Not a lot, but I'll be honest with you, I think it works out to be about $30 a month. And then I split it with my friend who wrote half the songs. So yeah, it's so about $15 a month. It's not great, but it's something as opposed to, getting nothing in return. So let's start by talking about what we're looking for. So, you're looking for a return on investment. You should always be doing this, an ROI, which is simply put, what you spend, you want to know how much you're going to get back. Like that is your return on investment. Like if I spend $20 on something, on a service, I'm hoping to get something back from that service. Like if I need, like I'm spending my money in hopes that I'm going to make some money back. That's the whole point of releasing your music. Not always, but sometimes. Okay, so let's put that out there. So first off, so what I'm trying to say is avoid sites where you pay for play and you aren't getting anything in return. Like this generally happens if you're on certain sites. They'll say, "Oh, I love your music. Why don't you? We would love to promote your song on our site." And then I've done this many times to them, which they hate. Is they'll say, "Oh," and I'll say, "Sure, go ahead." And then they'll say, "Well, it's going to cost you this much." And it's like, "Oh, so how much am I getting back for you to play my songs on your site?" And then like, no, nothing. So you're more or less, you're paying for exposure. And it's a waste of money. It is truly a waste of money. It's you're generally going to a site where the only other people on that site are the other people who have paid to be on that site, and they're listening to the music. You're not getting the exposure you want. So, it's not a great thing to do. So just avoid that. I fell into that trap. I've been doing this for almost 10 years, like releasing on streaming sites. Just avoid that. You're wasting you're wasting your money. So that's number one. Now let's talk about free sites. I'm going to put that in air quotes because they're free, but you can pay for things on them. So the biggest one, most people know of SoundCloud. Personally, I find that if you're doing more EDM, hip hop, rap styles of music like that, SoundCloud is great because that seems to be their base of listeners, is people who are looking for the latest and greatest that they can't find on Spotify for sorry, still got the cough. Spotify, they can't find on like other streaming sites for the latest and greatest, that kind of music. That's why you see like certain like Bad Bunny came from that, because that's the kind of music that they that they play, that they listen to. So if you're doing that kind of music, go for it. If you're doing something more rock or indie or avant-garde, I don't know. It could work. It's not going to cost you anything to put your stuff up there. Unless you have a lot of stuff, then yeah, it will cost you. But for just putting your stuff up there, it's fine. Now, one of the problems is this is one of those sites where you will get targeted to pay for play. So somebody will say, well, you can go get put on our playlist. Now, it always makes me laugh about those because you can go look at their playlist and see that they have like maybe 5 people who listen. So why would I pay, $30 to be on a playlist for 5 people to listen to my song? That's just that's stupid. That's dumb. So, and it just makes me laugh about, oh yes, we love your music, we love that song, blah blah blah. They didn't even listen to it, they just it's like a robot that second it sees that you're on there, or something new comes up, it'll boom, send you an email. I hate those guys. I have songs on SoundCloud. I can't even remember the last time I was on SoundCloud. And the biggest reason is just because nobody listens. Nobody listens to what I play. So it's like, forget it. I don't need this. So, and I got into an argument with somebody about, a few people about using auto-tune, and they got pissed off at me. So, like, forget it. Done. Next would be like something like Reverb Nation. And if you're looking to network with other musicians, it's a good place to go. I'm not too sure about your exposure on there. Like, you get some listens, you get people who will join your thing. Once again, avoid the submission traps and the email scams. Now remember, I'm in Canada, and I have been invited to the best bands in London, England, many times. I'm not even British. I'm Canadian, and I'm like, well, and it's like, well, submit, and then it says, click here to submit to the forms. Then you got to pay to submit, and it's like, yeah, I'm not wasting my money on this. And you see that a lot on Reverb Nation. But once again, not a fan of that. One that I am actually a fan of is Bandcamp. Bandcamp is used by a lot of indie artists, and the nice thing about Bandcamp is if you do have, you can sell your music. Now you're not. It's not a streaming site where you're getting paid per play. It's a site where if somebody liked your music and they said, yeah, I'll buy that for $1, or you can set your value of what you feel your music's worth. And you can also sell your merchandise. I'm selling CDs on there. I'm selling cassettes on there. So that's nice too. So it's a nice place to sell your merch, and then you're same you can sell your music on there. If somebody likes your music, they can buy it. Doesn't happen often for me, but you know what? It's there, and people are using it. So for me, that's great. Next would be YouTube. YouTube is free. You can make a video you can make a video with your music, and if you get a large enough subscription count, this is without paying for streaming or anything. So just remember that. You get a large enough subscription count, and view time. It's kind of a combination of both. And then you'll be put in the partner program, and you'll start making money. So is it worth it? Yeah, it's good for exposure. It's a nice it's a place where people commonly go to watch videos, so it makes it easy. You can do that with TikTok as well. You got TikTok, Facebook. Those you got videos to make, or you want to just put your song there, and they won't charge you anything for it. Okay, so now we've talked about the free sites. So pay for distribution means that you are paying to get your music put on the larger streaming platforms such as Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube Music, and Tidal and all this other stuff. So the two biggest sites for this is like CD Baby and DistroKid. I'm not going to promote either of them, but I'm going to tell my thoughts on things. So now they're both pay sites, but you get a return on investment, meaning that I paid in. They're releasing my music. If any money is made from the streaming sites because of my music, it comes back to me. So that's the kind of platform you want to be on if you're trying to make some music, or not make some music, make some money. Now my problem is there are many subscription based places. There are many one-time charge places. I personally gear to the one-time charge, and the biggest reason is if you're not making what your subscription fee is for the year, you're now paying out extra. So if your subscription fee is, let's say, $20, and you are making $10, well, you're now losing $10. If you're making $20, and if you do this on a one-time charge, and let's say like a one-time charge might be more. I know like CD Baby is now switching how they're doing it. So let's say you paid $40 to have your music released on a one-time charge site. Now that means that even though you only made $10 the first year, and the second year, third year, and the fourth year, you're not paying any extra, so you're not actually going in the hole. So in a subscription site where you're paying $20 and then you made $10, now you're minus $10. Then you made another $10, now you're minus $20. It works backwards. It's just not a great thing for the artist unless you're making tons of money. Unless you've got that thing. So like in the case of me, where I'm making around $30 a month on the music, it would work out well for me because I am making enough to cover the year. In a year, I'm making enough to cover it. But for the average person, it's not going to work. So I always suggest avoiding these. And I don't know a lot about subscription sites. I have tried to get more information. It's very difficult unless you sign up and you start paying, and I'm not willing to do that. So that being said, that's my opinion on that. Now that we've talked about that, so if you've decided to actually pay for distribution, you need to get notice so that you can start making money off your music. Now, how do you do that? Now, everybody says, well, you got to promote yourself. Okay, great. Well, that's not enough. Let's avoid not just promoting ourselves. We need to do something which a lot of artists don't want to do, and that is play your music on those streaming sites. So if you have a Spotify account, play your songs once a day. Just play your songs. Now, what that does is that puts your songs into the algorithm. It gets it into that list. So people who, if you're a Spotify user as it is, it will then take your song and it will match it up with people who listen to similar music that you do and suggest it to them. And that's what you want. That's how you get your song heard. And then once that happens, and then more and more people start listening to it, it's like, oh, look at that. So once a day, play your songs. Just once a day. You don't have to, do it like first thing in the morning. You get up, have a playlist of just your songs, and on your phone or whatever, press play, and then go have a shower or go get ready for work or whatever you got to do. And then if you're in a band, and if everybody in the band does that, well, now you got 4 people listening to these songs, and then it will then get pushed into the algorithm more, and then more people will hear it. That is the best way to get your music heard on these sites. So that's one way. The other way is, if you're making any kind of video, use your song as a background music. If you're a TikTok person who likes to do who likes to talk about stuff. Use your song as your background music. You do YouTube videos. Use your song as a background music. That's what I do. I'm not gonna lie. What this does is this gets it heard. A lot of, depending on how loud it is, a lot of places will, it depends how you also do it, because I know like on TikTok you can assign a song and it will then say, oh, this, it'll show it and say this is the song that's playing and this is the song that's playing. So you can do it that way too. So you have your song playing and then you do your whatever on TikTok or on Instagram or on, I don't know, whatever sites there are. There's too many. And then it will tag your song to it so people can then go, oh, I like that song. They can click on it and they can hear the whole song. That's another way. That's actually how a lot of these songs got really big on Spotify, was because they were used in TikToks and then they got pushed and then people started listening to them on Spotify. So that's another way of doing it. Don't be ashamed of using your own stuff. That's what you should be doing. You made it, you should be using it. I know it's hard to do, because for me it was very difficult to do that at first, because like, no, I want to see it grow on its own. It's like, no, you have to push it. You have to push what you're doing. The next thing is if you're on like group sites, like like some of us are, a lot of people are on like on Facebook Tascam sites. Promote your songs, but don't do it annoyingly. Like, do other stuff. So if there's a conversation about something, contribute, comment on it, talk about it. Don't just promote what you've done. Be a part of the group. That way you don't come off as just somebody who doesn't give a crap about anything, but you just want to promote your music. So, that's the other way. The other thing is now this is kind of like a if thing. When you release if you promote your song and you're promoting it on a non-specific site, like, you're not on a Tascam site where people care about what you're doing, or a musician site where people care about what you've recorded with, or an engineering site. If you're just pushing it out there, don't bother telling people what you recorded with. Nobody cares. Trust me on that one. Nobody. No, I see that all the time, and I'm like, you know what? And the funny part is it may turn somebody off from listening to your music, because they think, oh well, they use this crappy little thing to do it. Like, especially when people record with 4 tracks. I'm proud. You know what? I've heard some great recordings on 4 tracks, but if you promote that you record on a 4 track, it may have a negative connotation. So, sounds weird, but there are people out there like that. So, this is my video today. I hope it helps. I am planning on hitting the Model 24 soon. I want to try some myths on the 24, like some things that are in my head, like what if I did this, what if I did that? And it's kind of like what I do with the DP32, but I want to try it on the Model 24 with a couple things. So that's my video today. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.